Greetings, Pod fans! It is day 2 of Pod Fajita. Pod videos himself every day in April. So I think today is as good a time as any to walk through my second ever powerlifting competition that I did recently. It was on the 10th of March, so a little over half a month ago. Boom. And just as a very quick aside, my favourite thing about making digital media is when you do the thing and then you sit down to manipulate it on a computer and you find out that the file just doesn't work, and then you check it on your camera just to be like, why? And then it just tells you this. What do you mean you can't play back the movie? You made the movie. So if that becomes a regular thing, I might cry a lot. Hypothetically. This is a total hypothetical situation. Anyway, let's talk about powerlifting. So, as mentioned, in March I did my second ever powerlifting competition, and it was an absolute blast. It was the March Open in Phenom, Cork, a little gym that I like to train at, and it went really well. It was much more less stressful, is what I was about to say. It was not half as stressful as the first one that I did, because I just knew what was going on, and that really, really helped. So let's walk through the day, and then we'll walk through the lifts, and then we'll just have a grand old time on this, the 2nd of April, which is what it is, definitely. So the main things that made it less stressful for me was just knowledge, because the first time on the lead up to it, my body weight was around or about 83 kg or below, or maybe just a little bit above, and I needed to be 83 or more. Well, between 83 and 93, so being below 83 would be a bad thing. That time was very stressful, and I just about made it. This time I was much more comfortable. I was only 85, so still very low for the weight category that I compete in, but still, it was a lot easier just walking in and being like, I know I'm within the weight. I don't have to worry about it. It's all Gucci. And there was also the kit check, just knowing that all of the stuff that I own, it is up to scratch, it is allowed, it isn't an issue. It really helped. It just just knowing these things, going through the whole process and learning and being happy, it made my day so much easier. I showed up, I weighed in, I showed all my fancy kit to the people, and they said yes. And yeah, just just having done a competition previously really helped me relax and know what the story was, because there wasn't as many unknowns as the previous time. So that's kind of boring. Let's talk about lifting weights and what I lifted. So if you don't know about powerlifting, it goes in an order. There is squat, bench, and deadlift. You get 3 attempts at each. Very cool. So let's go through squat. So my opener on squat was 160 kg, which I was very happy with being my opener, because my 3rd attempt that I got last time in September was 162.5, so just 2.5 below the most I'd ever done in competition. The 160 moved absolutely beautifully. It went totally grand. The one thing was walking out. It was just lots of adrenaline, lots of, okay, there's a crowd, and once I got through that one, it was a happier old time, a good old fashioned, much easier, because it just lots of shaking when I walked out first, but went down, went back up. It was a squat. They gave me lights for it. Beautiful. My 2nd attempt was 167.5, which about 7.5 more and 5 kg more than I have ever done in competition. That moved totally fine. Excellent. Amazing. We love it. And then I decided that for my 3rd, what I was going to do was 175. I came out, it went down, it was fine. At the bottom, I tipped forward. So I just went out of position. The bar was a little forward, so I tried to get standing up, tried my best. What did be wasn't there. I just couldn't. I feel like the strength is there, it's just I was so out of position, there wasn't a chance. So we'll get him next time. But yeah, so that was squat. I ended up with a 167.5, 5 kg over my previous comp max. Not too bad. Then onto bench. Bench is something that I've always felt kind of lagged behind. In my last competition, I only got 100 and failed 105. I say only. 100 kg is a lot for people to do, and it took me a very long time to get there. But whatever. This time, it has improved enough that I opened with 100, and that was very, very smooth. So then I went for 105, the thing that I failed the last time. And I did that, and it was very, very smooth. So then I decided for 110, which is something that I had failed about 2 weeks before in training, and it just wouldn't even come off my chest. There was nothing there. And you know what happened? Funny thing, it was very smooth. So yeah, I think there's definitely more for me to give on bench, which is great. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that bench is doing a thing, because bench was just a lift that it just wasn't for me, and now it's doing something and we're liking it, ish. And then finally onto what I consider my favourite of the 3 lifts, the deadlift, which is, you know, it's mine. It's the one that I just have made the most progress with, I feel. It's the one that just works for me, and today was no different. So we started with 190 kg, which I was very happy to be opening on, because that was the most I did at the previous competition. So just by hitting that, I was matching my previous best, my previous competition max. So that's totally easy. It was expected to be. It was just there to get it. Beautiful. Next up, I did 200 kg, something that I've done a number of times in training. I'm very happy with it. It moved great. And then I decided 210. We're doing 210 kg, put it down. That's what I want. And 210 again was something that I had failed in training. Like 2 weeks before, I couldn't even get it to break the ground. I actually have a piece of paper here with some goals that I'm just after seeing, and on it says 210 deadlift, so I get to mark that off because it went great. It was actually really surprising how easily it moved, and in like all the pictures and the videos of the stream, you can just see people being very, very confused, because I didn't expect it to move that easily. My coach didn't expect it to move that easily. No one who knew me really expected it to move that easily. So it was a beautiful, beautiful moment. I gave a big smile at the top because I had it in my head from the last time, where all of the pictures and stuff from when I deadlifted, it was this face of like, because I was staring at the judge waiting for the down command, and that was my concentrated face. We're locked in. So I promised myself that if I hit my final deadlift, the 210, that I would give a big smile, and I did, and it really, you know, I allowed myself that, and it was beautiful. It was great. I was so happy. Powerlifting is fun. And that was the day. I ended up with a total of 487.5, which is 45 more than I did in September. Beautiful. Had I got that squat, we would have been 495, which is just below the 500, but we didn't. So we won't even think about it. And next time I'm gunning for that 500 plus. I know I can do it. I just have to work. So yeah, that was my second ever powerlifting competition. I do the training every week. I go training 4 times a week, every week. And like, you know, I'm committed. I do all of these things and I have motivation or whatever. But it's when you get on that platform, when you do the thing, when all of the preparation comes together, that's what reminds me why I do it, why I decided that I wanted to. Because it's fun, it's cool, it's so good. Those feelings are just, And when I got back to the car afterwards, you know, there was a lot of like talking to people and being like, oh, congratulations, oh, thank you, blah, 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 blah. All of this chat. And then I got back to my car, I was finally alone for the first time in the day, and I just had a little bit of a moment, just one of those, you know, those when the out of the eyes. Because it just kind of hit me that like, all the work paid off. I did it. I moved the stuff, and I know that I have more to give. We are absolutely crushing it out here. So yeah, that was my second ever powerlifting competition. Very happy. Have to figure out when my next one will be. Potentially in September. Just we'll do that, but maybe we'll branch out. Maybe we'll do something else. So yeah, that was powerlifting. If people would like me to talk more about powerlifting and what it is that I do and my training and all that kind of fun stuff, I probably will anyway, but let me know if you would like to know more about the sport. Yeah, so this was the second. It's a Tuesday, and I'm definitely recording this on a Tuesday. But yeah, I will talk to you all tomorrow for day 3. Slán.